Katie, so post-transplant fluid intake for kidney patients, what does that look like in the short term and long term?
So in the short term, you're recommended to increase fluid intake. I mean, it will depend on what your transplant team are recommending, but most of the time it's about consuming a really good fluid intake, keeping yourself well hydrated. And this can actually be quite hard for people who've been on a fluid restriction. I think a lot of people on a fluid restriction crave the idea of being able to drink as much fluid as they want, but after months, maybe years of being on a fluid restriction, it's really changing your whole mindset, and it's not easy then to suddenly try to increase your fluid intake. And yeah, it's just about getting back into that routine of keeping water bottles on you, trying to keep up your fluid intake over the whole day.
Yeah, it's interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like being on a fluid intake reduction for a period of time. It changes your brain thought around liquid altogether, and subconsciously you don't think to get up and get a glass of water like you would have pre that restriction. So yeah, it is a challenge to get your head around. It takes a while. It took me quite a while to sort of get back into the routine. I still wouldn't say I'm great at it. I'm 16 years post-transplant, but I sort of compensate. Like you said, I have a giant liter water bottle on my desk, which makes it really easy for me to. I know it's a liter. I know if I refill that a few times a day, that's how much my intake is. So little things like that can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think a water bottle is a good idea because then you can monitor how much you're having. But yeah, some people even need to use apps that send you reminders or timers on their phone.
Yeah.
Just to get back in the habit of drinking a good amount of fluid. And those fluid requirements, in the longer term, that will depend on your individual situation, your transplant team. Most of the time, they're going to want you to keep up with a good fluid intake post-transplant.